I was in the computer industry. I graduated from college in 1966 in mathematics. San Francisco was the place to go, and so we decided, we jumped in our truck and became hippies and moved into the Haight-Ashbury, and that was the beginning days of computer programming. I became a computer programmer, and I spent the next 30 years developing computer systems. The projects are in New York, the projects are in St. Louis, the projects are in Ottawa, Canada. And I had 4 children and needed to get back in touch with my family.
He wanted to open a travel agency, and he just had talked and talked about it.
Just sort of be a gentleman travel agency owner, and life would be good.
There's just something about the fact that there's a place where you can call and say, I'd like to go to Hawaii, would you please book me a reservation? And I thought, that is so wonderful.
So I decided that we would open up a travel agency, and I was very successful. I was in a building that had 2 internet service providers in it, and I tried them both, and their concept of what a computer system should be, in other words, being up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, being backed up, they just didn't have it. So I decided I would build my own system. So I contracted to a couple of guys, and they built a couple servers for me, and I bought an internet connection. Meanwhile, I'm being lobbied by my wife to saying, this travel business is really, it's really bad. It's horrible. I hate it. I said, oh, well, I hadn't noticed. You sure? She says, I'm sure, Bill, we got to get out of this business. We're not having any fun. I'm not having any fun. And so we closed it. When I started the internet business, I went out and I spent several $1,000s with a marketing company. And one of the things that I suggested was, well, why don't we try the Yellow Pages? They said, no, nobody looks in the Yellow Pages. One day I got a phone call for someone who was looking for a Polish Catholic church. And I sort of ignored it. I figured it was the wrong number. And then a little while later we got another phone call for a Polish Catholic church. Why did you call this number? And they said, oh, because you're in the Yellow Pages. Obviously there'd been a mistake made. But it made me think, if people were looking in the Yellow Pages for Polish Catholic churches, they were probably also looking for internet service providers. And we put our ad in, and immediately we started getting phone calls as soon as the Yellow Pages came. So I called up Mike and I said, Mike, I'd like to try putting an ad in Marin County and some of the other places around here that I can service. And it seemed like every time we put an ad in, as soon as that book hit the streets, everybody in the office knew it because we started getting phone calls from that location. We decided that this was such a good idea, and since we did have a statewide network and we hadn't figured out how to market to a statewide company, there's 35 million potential customers in California, which is more people than are in the entire country of Canada. I thought the Yellow Pages would be a good thing to try, so we rolled out a program of putting ads in every Yellow Page directory in the state of California. We even have one directory we're in, which is Catalina, where we can't provide service, but I put the ad in there anyways. And we get calls from there for people who are desperate for a good internet service provider. And one of my goals is to get service in Catalina. I look at my marketing program as a building, and the Yellow Pages is the foundation of the building. I measure my success by my family. There's no question about that. I look at what my goals are in life, and they were my wife and my children. And the business is just peripheral to that. I think having that attitude allows for success in business, because your relationships with the people that you love are what give you the strength to live through the trials and tribulations that having a business will inevitably bring to you. I always believe that you don't fail till you quit, and I'm not about ready to quit. I try to let my children find their own definitions for success. It's pretty hard to be my child because I'm kind of counterculture and I have been successful. I haven't followed the rules. Our mission is to provide excellent service with quality customer care and exceptional value. Well, I've been in the computer industry for 35 years, and the one thing that I can promise you is that this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the computer industry. This is the beginning of the internet. What's going to happen in the future? I really don't have a crystal ball, but I do know that we're going to continue to change our technologies and our approaches to our customers and try to be one step ahead of that curve. What's next? I don't know, but it can only be something that builds on what we're doing right now. The past is the past. Okay, every day is the first day of the rest of your life. You wake up in the morning, oh God, I'm here again.